Is that what we're saying?
Well, hi, welcome
sorry.
back
Hi
to our.
guys.
Word. Okay, welcome back. This is the second video of our two-part series for a soundtrack
Or
thing.
maybe a 3-part.
What?
Probably
Maybe.
3-part.
Maybe.
This might be the third of a three-part.
No,
Yeah.
this is the second of a 3-part.
What? How are we gonna have more than that?
love
Maybe. You never know.
It's already,
Could we
it's
have
already gone
organization?
We could be
downhill.
talking really slow. Okay.
All right, you know what? We're just gonna go with it. This is one of 2 or 3 parts.
Yeah. Hopefully not more.
Let's not do more, please.
So
No, let's definitely do more.
No.
we are
Not of
doing
this, not
the
of this.
soundtrack Brack.
No, just Brack. It's so much better.
Soundtrack Brack.
All right.
It could be a thing.
So
It's not a thing.
we've
but it
got
could
the
be.
4 categories: epic movie, peaceful movie, epic game, and peaceful game. And we got 4 criteria that we've been going off of. I will reread them real quick. Or Fletcher, you're the quiet one. You
Yeah,
can
go.
do it.
Okay.
Read 'em.
Go get
Does it fit with the overall theme of the movie/game? Does it give the emotion the soundtrack is trying to achieve? Does it tell you the story just by listening to the soundtrack? Does it make you want to revisit the movie/game? Probably not.
Whoa, you don't even know
Whoa,
what we're talking
I'm
about
just
yet.
kidding. If they've made it to round 2, they
These are-
probably do.
I was about to say these are the
These
bracket
are all
winners, man.
really good
Yeah.
soundtracks. They're going to be tough to decide for sure. So I guess we'll go ahead and read them off. We're going to start with the epic movie. So for epic movie, we got How to Train Your Dragon versus Star
the cup
Wars
that
3.
just fell. I'm sorry.
Versus Star Wars 3.
Cool.
Great soundtracks. One is very classic. The other
Dream-
is just really good.
Yeah.
Dream Art,
They're both awesome.
DreamWorks versus LucasArts.
Lucasfilm.
track.
Lucasfilms. LucasArts.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah,
LucasArts.
something
Whatever.
like that.
DreamWorks was started by
Disney.
Steven Spielberg.
So I guess we'll
Really?
just
No.
it was.
Are you serious?
I'm
So-
serious.
I'm sorry. Okay, yeah.
if you haven't seen the first part, recommend you watch all
Yes.
hour and a half of it
Yep.
because it's very entertaining. I can already tell by the first 2 minutes I watched.
Yeah.
You actually watched it?
We're doing this right afterwards, so.
Come on, man.
We're,
No, you weren't supposed to say that because
No,
you
it's
said
a
it was
secret.
It's fine. We're wearing the same clothes.
We are very
Sam, why are you-
organized.
why
We
are-
remembered exactly what we wore.
Very organized
And
people.
everything is in the exact same position because we are so organized.
We should
So-
change seats.
No, we shouldn't. We're good
Oh
here.
my goodness. Okay.
Oh my goodness gracious.
All right.
All right, let's get this
So
show
we
on
should
the road.
probably. Do you want to redo the songs, or do you want to pick different songs that we did last time?
No, Juan, what do you mean?
Like different
You want to
songs
just
from
do
the
soundtrack.
different, different.
Pick a different song from each.
Yeah.
For each
soundtrack.
movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or just the soundtrack.
This is a
in
soundtrack bracket, after all. So
general. Soundtrack, right.
Go with Brack.
All right.
Come
so
on,
yeah.
it needs
So
to
how about
stick.
we have Steven do another Star
So,
Wars
for
3.
mine, I'll just do
or-
This Is Burke. I really
Okay.
like that one. I
Didn't
don't.
we just do? No, we just
he
did.
I did Test Drive,
Yeah.
Which is my favorite.
which that would be my favorite. The Romantic Flight is really good too.
Yeah,
alrighty,
that is a good one.
here we go.
This is good.
Rumble.
Good.
Also, after we did the last one, I couldn't help but notice the creator of this, John Powell. I'll have to look into him because with Hans Zimmer, he did a whole bunch of good stuff. With John Williams, he's done so much work. I wonder how much work John Powell's done. I kind of want to look into that and see what
Yeah.
other soundtracks he's maybe done.
Yeah, I only know of How to Train Your Dragon for him, and obviously it's super good.
Yeah.
I think he did a Fallout game.
Did he really?
I think so.
This to me feels like Viking. Like there's
Yeah.
those.
This is. I feel
Flutes
like
and
this is
stuff.
more Viking than the other.
Yeah.
personally.
This is one of those ones where it's this is the beginning of the movie,
I love
and
this.
I
Feel
love
it.
the quieter, just opening, and you're just
Then-
okay, yeah.
It's so
It's,
good.
it's very much like
This is Burke. This is Burke, and then we got dragons. That's right. Oh, this is so good.
It's like, yeah, it's like You know how Vikings are like big and tough? Yeah, there's dragons.
Yeah,
Surprise.
classic thing. You know, Vikings and dragons go together. So good.
And
Oh,
then
I
you
love that
get
so much.
and then you get Hiccup, who's just like, I'm a Viking.
I guess.
Ah!
Yeah.
Oh, that's
No
really
Irish
good.
accent though.
No,
No.
that's really
not
good.
not
All right.
Irish. I don't know what.
Scottish.
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 Norwegian. It
Scottish.
doesn't matter.
Norwegian. Yeah.
It
Sure.
doesn't matter. All right,
What's
so
wrong with you?
Steven.
He did do an accent during the movie.
he did,
And
he
it was
tried
like
to-
But it was, like,
so
fake.
good.
Right?
How do you expect to contain all this Vikingness?
It's so good. So next one
So-
is Star Wars 3.
Okay. And
Can you just say Revenge of the Sith?
Let's
Yeah,
hurt
sorry.
you.
It's Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah,
Star
come
Wars
on, let's just go.
I.
No! Stop!
Because we're Roman.
It's because
They had Romans in
because
the
George Lucas
galaxy
had
far,
class,
far away.
okay?
Yeah, class.
They had Romans in the galaxy far, far away. I'm
You know
pretty
it.
sure.
They did actually. I'm pretty sure that's what. I mean, that's what they were supposed to be portraying. It's like,
So,
I don't think so.
just like that.
I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be based off of World War II.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I think
Parts
so.
of it were, yeah.
That's cool.
Based off what?
You can definitely tell in 7.
Okay. So
You
the
can definitely
first,
tell.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Also, there was a World War II movie that I watched
Wow.
when I was doing that. I was watching a bunch of World War II movies.
Yeah.
And one of them had a trench run that was very, very
Yeah.
similar to the trench run.
well, and that's what I'm
cool.
And
talking
it was
about.
based off
so,
of that, I think.
Star Wars as a whole, yeah, it's a space opera. And
Yes.
George Lucas was very much like, okay, you know, World War II era stuff.
That makes
I'm
sense.
talking specifically about Revenge of the Sith. Like, the prequels were more about the politics of it all.
Yes.
And I
True,
feel like
true.
a lot of it, like especially with like their Senate setup and everything, was more supposed to depict, like, you know, this is Rome, and you've got, you know, the city states and stuff that are
Yeah, I could
seceding
see
and
that.
everything's going away, and the Jedi were kind of like your, I don't know how I don't know what a good comparison would be, but they were kind of like your Spartans, where they're just
Yeah.
like they're your you go fight, which is hilarious actually, because I know we're delving more into the movie than the soundtrack here, so
That's
I'll get
fine.
back on track. But they weren't supposed to be. There's multiple instances where they mention, hey, we weren't supposed to be soldiers. We're supposed to be keepers of the
Yeah.
peace.
Yeah.
So what are you wanting us to do here? And that's, little do you know that Palpatine's just like playing chess while everybody else is playing
Spoilers
checkers.
for Star Wars.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it yet,
We
Palpatine's the
don't-
bad guy.
yeah.
Don't trust
whoa,
him.
whoa, whoa.
We're
Way to
not
go,
worried
Steven, you
about
ruined
you
their
if
hopes
you
and
haven't
dreams.
seen this.
All right, so here
We're
I'm
not
gonna
worried
play.
about your feelings.
Actually, you know what? Because of that, so I have two choices here.
I am the Senate.
I could go with I am the Senate,
Play it. Play on
or
the
I
Senate.
could go with or execute Order 66.
I
I'm
like
going
that
with
better
Order
too.
66.
Actually,
Do it.
yeah.
But
Do it.
just so you know, like that's one of the reasons I love this soundtrack so much, is because you get a couple of like the actual songs are named after lines
Yeah.
in the movie.
Yeah.
One of my favorites later in the soundtrack is actually just Padme's. It's like you're going down a path I can't follow and you're breaking my heart, and I'm like, Anakin, why? Oh, it's so good.
It's really good.
Like, this is like, hello, yeah, the Jedi's done for at this point. And this, like, I know we talked about Battlefront 2 when we did the last one.
Yeah.
This too, like, all I can think of is that little excerpt from the campaign mode where you're playing as a Legion or a clone of the 501st,
Yeah.
and you're just like, this is what's going on.
This is wrong.
You know, yeah,
For sure.
He's like, flip the switch. Hey, guess what? You know, all these soldiers that you had trained, these good guys are now no. It's like,
Well,
They're easily persuaded,
yeah,
which
Yep.
is why they switched to stormtroopers.
indeed.
yep.
It's really cool. A lot of people hate the prequels.
Yeah.
Just because
The
there's,
memes.
there's a lot of hate. There's a lot of hate
Memes.
on them.
There is.
Yeah, but let's get real here.
But
I feel like
I think they did well, honestly.
Yes.
There are
Yeah.
parts that are just really bad about them, like the fact that love is part of a problem. That's the big problem with the prequels. But
I don't like sand. It's
But I mean,
trying to get
and the dialogue. The
Yeah.
dialogue's cringy.
It's just
But
the worst.
there's a lot of good in it. Like
Yeah.
they set up the originals pretty well. Like
Yeah.
I really like the transition from clones to stormtroopers.
Yeah.
There's the clone spaceships look like Star Destroyers. Like
Yep.
such a cool aspect. Like one generation to the next.
And that's one of the reasons why it's like George Lucas did it best because
Yeah.
of the fact that he set up the original trilogy.
Yeah.
He was the director and the maker of those 3 movies, and then the fact that he went back and he's just like, okay, but this needs a little more context. That was really big in that, and I feel like you can feel that in the soundtrack. Like one of the reasons I picked Episode 3 over any of the others is because it's that pivot point.
Yeah.
You
like,
get
it's no longer happy. Like
yeah,
like triumphant. Like the
exactly.
fourth movie. It's
Well, the
straight
fourth-
up dark and depressing, but it's like Army
yes,
dark and depressing. Like you're marching into battle here.
yeah. If you want me to,
You don't like it, but you're doing it.
right. So here you go. There's oh man, you guys are really I put so much, like I've done so much research into Episode 3 and just all of the little the subtle nuances that involve what Episode 3 is. One of my favorites is actually from the book. It's at the very end of the book, and is talking about how, the galaxy is basically enveloped in darkness, but, in amongst all the chaos and the Empire rising and all this stuff, the galaxy's like blacked out, and you get the one little ray of light that is Luke Skywalker, and you get Obi-Wan, who's just like kind of trying to play it low key and then he talks about it was funny because like you were talking about how love is a bad thing in the prequels.
Yeah.
The EU, the expanded universe, does a huge job in explaining that in more depth. But the book mentioned that that love and hope can ignite the stars and fight back all the darkness that's popping up. And
That's
it's
really
like,
that's
oof.
what. And Star Wars is really about relationships. Like
It is.
That's what makes Star Wars so good. It's not necessarily the universe is great and all that, but the relationships between the characters that's what drives the story. What makes scenes funny. What yeah.
Especially like in the
We
original.
moved off soundtrack though, just like
Yeah, you
I
guys
know.
are way off.
I
Sound.
know.
we were way off.
That was another
It's-
thing.
Star Wars, man.
Star Wars.
Star
We gotta
Wars
talk
makes me
about
do
it.
that.
That
We
was
all have
actually
opinions on
that
it.
was actually one thing I really appreciated about the sequels, the new ones, is that they changed it. They realized. I mean, at least at the start, the Jedi way. Just because that was the good side does not mean that that's actually how it should have been done. Is with love. And all the things that they wanted to do, all the things where they were like, just because this is the good side doesn't mean they're doing everything right either. So I like that, and I wish they would have played that up more. You guys are not paying attention.
I was paying attention. Sorry.
That's about it.
Fletcher jotted down a note that says "stay on topic," and I erased topic and I put target and then put it in quotation marks because there's that line "stay on target."
The kind of the bite is that you did not do it.
Yes.
Instead.
So
All right, let's get back to soundtrack.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
That's
So
a
the
thing.
soundtrack, just overall, it goes to show again, 3, the soundtrack itself is one of the reasons why 3 is such a pivot point. You get the early portion where there is that triumph and they beat back the Confederacy trying to take over Coruscant, and it's just like, oh, just kidding, nope, the Jedi are here and they're going to, specifically Anakin and Obi-Wan, and the soundtrack really plays that up really well. But as you start to see this seeping in of like the darkness into like Anakin's thoughts and stuff like that, it's like, the soundtrack really reflects that.
Yeah.
And without giving the main characters any idea, obviously, it gives kind of the audience like something's not right with Palpatine. So overall, the soundtrack really does its job telling the story without the story being told.
True.
Making the character
That's very
think
true.
they're still good, but the audience knowing there's no going back.
Exactly.
That's very true. All right, so
How to Train Your Dragon versus Star Wars 3. What do you guys think? You two.
So
I'm not gonna be able to vote on any of
okay.
these because all of mine made it
So-
forward. But
I
Humble
love.
brag.
Yeah,
Okay, so I
so
love.
I just get two.
I love Star Wars, and
Yeah.
I love how deep it
that
is,
went
and
really deep.
yeah, and the soundtrack is part of that, and it helps that. And like you said, it tells a story without. How did you say that? How did you say
It-
that?
Tells the story
Without
without the
the-
story, like without the actual story.
Yeah, without
portion.
the actual story.
Yeah.
And it's really, really great, and I
Yeah.
love it. But How to Train Your Dragon is one of my favorite movie soundtracks of all time.
It does. It really
'cause
has
it's-
that nostalgic feel of.
And it's like such a
this is
novelty
such a
that
good,
it just exists.
like the music there. It's. I feel like it's just overall the better music.
It-
I mean,
can
John
understand.
Williams did a
amazing.
really good job.
You take that back.
no, I
It's-
won't.
I mean,
this
I love
is Burke
Star
is
Wars.
better than Order 66.
I'm sorry, John
but
Williams.
I have
I
to go.
failed you.
I have to go with How to Train Your Dragon. It's not
Yeah.
an easy decision, but I was thinking
It's
about
not, but I mean, it's just such a good soundtrack.
I think it's
overall.
probably one of the best things going forward. How to Train
Yeah.
Your Dragon.
I think
it's the soundtrack.
It is the
itself.
soundtrack. Yeah.
That's
And
what
some
makes
of-
every scene so good.
It's true.
Well,
Like,
and
and some of
without-
the story is really good too, but the soundtrack is just amazing.
That and the hiccup.
Without
toothless
getting too
relationship. Oh,
ridiculous, I think
it's
it's actually probably best that How to Train Your Dragon wins anyway, for the viewers' sake. For the fact that if episode 3 makes it in again, we're gonna get another 30-minute rant by me
Yes.
I know.
on the
Yes.
rest of the different songs.
I know.
Just like, save yourselves. Let
Uh.
How to Train Your Dragon win.
All right. It is
Right.
moving on.
Okay, peaceful movies.
No
Peaceful
such thing.
movies. We've got Dances with Wolves and Saving Mr. Banks.
Which one do you want to go first?
I'm gonna
I
let
guess if you're
you
in mine,
pick
go
the
first.
Dances with Wolves
Okay.
song. So
It has to be a different one,
I
but
know.
they're
It
all
does.
pretty similar, I think. I would imagine. I haven't
try
actually
not
heard
to
it.
pick something epic because this
I
is
know.
your
It was a
peaceful
peaceful
one.
one.
Does he know which ones are epic and which ones are peaceful? That's the
We're
question.
going here. All right.
You can't switch it once you pick. No,
Let's try this one.
I was like, what?
We can get at it. We'll be fine. We can get
I
it.
wasn't expecting that.
Oh, that's a good one. Good choice. Good choice.
Yay.
And then all of a sudden it just bum 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 bum.
You jinxed it, boy.
Man, I'm telling you though, even with this, like it sounded really happy at first, and now all of a sudden it's getting like really like.
Little spooky.
It's just a little.
Little
What's gonna happen? Is
spooky
there a
stuff going
wolf gonna come out of nowhere and eat someone? Is that how the movie
No,
works?
do they know?
No, it's not. Okay.
That's not
Oh
how
my
that works.
goodness.
I haven't seen the movie.
Something that I really
You are
love,
the only one who's seen this movie.
I've only seen part of it.
something that
Oh, come on, man.
something that I really love is the classical piece called Peter and the Wolf, but they made a movie out of it. And there's like no words. It's just it's an animated movie set to this piece, and it's so amazing how they were able to do it. How it completely tells the story, and it's
You can
amazing
keep
piece
it
of
going.
music.
Yeah.
But I just remembered that, and I would have put that in, except it's actually its own piece that then was turned into a movie.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's really cool. It brings back a lot of memories to think about the.
Yeah, I think I've watched
It's
that
really
or
good.
listened to it.
It's soup's good. This is actually really good.
It is
Yeah.
really good.
For the
This is
fact
like
that you randomly picked it,
I
I'm just,
know,
like, I'm
yeah,
impressed.
dude, good job.
It was very good.
It wasn't
These are really
completely
good.
random. I did listen to the soundtrack last night,
Oh,
but I
that's
was playing Planet Side at the same time, so.
of course it was.
Planet Side, sponsor me.
All right.
No, not a sponsor.
All right. The next one is Saving Mr. Banks.
I don't
Alright,
even
what
get
else
to
do you
say
have?
about my move.
What
I don't.
other-
I get to say
Oh,
about
yeah,
my
you
song.
wanna
Oh, yeah,
talk
sorry.
about
How
it?
dare
Go
you?
ahead,
Sorry.
go
How
ahead.
dare you? All right.
You're not used to talking.
Oh, what are we doing?
Ooh.
What are we into?
What are we
This
doing?
is epic, not
There we go.
peaceful.
That wasn't mine. Letting it be said. All right.
That was from
so-
Saving Mr. Banks?
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think there are any battles in that.
they're
Little
beautiful.
did you know?
Yep. Walt Disney just taking them out one at a time with the sword.
All right.
No. So I think Dances with Wolves in general, it just has that nice peaceful soundtrack with like peaceful and yet you can really like feel the whole story going on. Like if you've seen the movie and you hear the music, then you're like, oh, this is what's happening. Now I remember
Yeah.
this. but like, does it tell a story by listening? I think it tells a story. I just don't think it's the same story.
I was
if you
thinking
haven't
that.
seen the movie, I
'Cause-
mean, you're getting like a feel of like what's going on, but probably not the right thing.
I feel
So
like
the
this.
wolves don't attack and eat.
No,
it almost
it-
sounded
I'm
like
s-
that. So I feel
Because
like
that's what wolves do, you know.
I feel like this is definitely one. So like for the games To the Moon and Finding Paradise, definitely I could tell you
could
needed.
you could feel the.
You could, but you needed to. I think you needed to have played those games.
Yeah.
I think this is like that in a movie. You needed
Yeah.
to have seen this
You-
movie.
at
Once
least
again, ladies and gentlemen, this is coming from the one person who hasn't played To the Moon or Finding Paradise.
Yes, it's true, and I feel like I would have understood it better definitely if if I had played them.
That is fair.
But
Yeah.
I feel like this is the same. I think
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
this soundtrack relies on the movie
Having to be
instead of
seen it, yeah.
being part of it.
I can
yeah,
get
It's,
behind
it
that.
relies on the movie.
Yeah, I still think it's relaxing, and
Oh, it is. It's good. I
Stand
like
yeah,
behind
it.
it is good.
I'd say I'd vote for it, but I can't. So, cue Mr. Banks,
All
and
right.
I won't vote for that.
What
either.
track you want to run? You want it? Here.
Yeah, let me see. I don't remember.
It's had time to charge
It immediately dies. Just
This one is pretty
gone.
good.
and done.
Plug it in. Oh, it's sorry.
It's-
It's a
yeah.
Bluetooth
It
one.
will die.
Weirdo. I think I remember this one.
Sounds.
Yeah, I remember this. Oh, this is a good one.
This one sounds very similar to Finding
I was about to say it
Nemo.
sounds
Yeah.
just like Finding Nemo right here.
Same person. Yes.
You sure this isn't Finding Nemo?
Yes.
The top comment on here is this reminds me of Finding
Oh
Yes.
my word! That's amazing. It literally does.
Yes.
Ben, you've already lost.
That is awesome.
Yes.
This one is a very like thinking one because it's
Yeah.
this is like has to do with a flashback where they're moving out of their town spot and they're going to the country and they walk and they're talking about how it's a leisurely stroll. That's what this one is called. And then it comes back to the present day and they're like the person that experienced that was like nobody walks today, and then the guy is like a leisurely stroll is a gift, and it's like that's like the thought-provoking kind of music behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this movie, this soundtrack also kind of relies on
It relies on
The
watching
movie,
the movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
and I like it because it complements the movie really well.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Dances with Wolves does as well, but I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
And I think the soundtrack is such a part of Saving Mr. Banks because like I said, I forgot it had a soundtrack. I literally thought they just used Mary Poppins music in it. So
Mary
They have that.
Poppins.
they do, but
I thought
that's all
about
I
like we
remembered.
could do like the chimchurri
Yeah.
one where it's just like,
Oh man.
but it's like just the talking, and then it's got like
Yeah.
a really, really beautiful like piano that's like
Yeah.
it's a very thought-provoking movie. Like you're supposed to
You're supposed to be
thinking
thinking
about
about the music behind it as while you're watching it.
Yeah.
yeah, even though he
It's
didn't
good.
notice it. Anyway,
Didn't
It's done.
it's up to you guys.
I think I'm gonna go with
torn.
saving Mr.
You're
Banks.
dead to me. No, I'm
Honestly-
kidding.
Honestly, I want to give it to Dances with
It's
Wolves
okay,
because
so is Dances with Wolves.
I'm gonna give it to. I would vote for Dances with the Wolves because otherwise I feel like I'm just I would just be voting for Saving Mr. Banks because I've seen it and I haven't seen
Yeah.
Dances with Wolves
Okay.
because I actually really like the score.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're both
So
really
it's kind
good.
of like
They're
the
both-
opposite of what happened last round, where I was just like, I gotta go
Yeah.
with Dances with Wolves,
Yeah.
and you were just like Saving Mr. Banks.
It's.
I mean,
We're
thought about
shaking it up here.
I thought about it more. Yes.
yeah.
So
What do you guys?
I
say?
feel like as far as relaxing go, I mean, not to be. I mean, it's mine. I'm trying to play it up, but
yeah.
I felt
I'd say
like
yours is-
Dancing with Wolves is a little bit more relaxing.
yeah, it
and
probably is.
Not so like fun, playful. I guess.
Because relaxing doesn't necessarily
think-
mean thought provoking,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
really good.
Thought-provoking.
It's good as a
is,
song, but like,
is part of it.
Yeah.
And it is. Our category is peaceful, not necessarily relaxing. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
peaceful music.
why did you send me the message that said it's relaxing? Oh no, I'm
Well, it's
confused.
another word for it. It's basically the same
yeah,
thing.
it works. But
So
I would.
we could definitely
I'd say arm wrestle, but you're
Tiebreaker.
the one who works out, not me.
No, I'm good with moving Dancing with Wolves because it's a very peaceful soundtrack.
Alright.
Sure, let's move.
No, we need to
move
do
on.
this the right way.
What are you doing? What are you? What?
What are you doing?
What are you
I'm
doing?
scared. What's Steven doing?
Just calm down.
What are you
calm
doing?
down. Okay, and
Just do the initials.
that's what I was doing.
Oh, good.
What are we doing? What
I
is
am.
What did you just
do?
I ripped it in half on accident. Okay, calm down.
It looks so
Calm
on purpose.
down.
It looks so
Everybody calm
intentional. You're
down.
just like.
Okay. Yeah, it's yeah.
Can we
Okay,
just
what
move
are we
Dancing
doing?
with Wolves? Huh?
No, we can't.
No.
We're gonna pick.
Okay,
we're gonna
fine.
pick
We
that.
can. Because
It's
saving
divided
Mr.
dimensions.
Banks was yours, you can move.
Yeah, I'm good
Yeah.
with it. I think
Fletcher, pick a hand.
I feel like it could definitely
This one.
Yeah.
be a very good. And it's a little.
It's gonna be
it's
the
a
one
little
that's
less
Saving
round.
Mr. Banks.
I knew it.
All right.
I picked
Epic
against
game.
myself.
Oh my gosh.
How did I pick against myself?
Epic game. So we got Bastion and Halo 3.
Nice, man.
So starting with Bastion.
Alrighty. So since we've already played 3 of these, which one are you gonna go with?
Oh yeah.
Halo 3 or Bastion?
No, he's doing Bastion, but which song?
I know. But I'm saying me
Just
and
pick
you're the
one.
ones that
Yeah.
have to vote.
I don't remember which one. Other
Okay.
ones. I don't remember.
Have
the
we
names.
done Fletcher's picks already?
Yeah.
Yes.
All my picks are done.
Okay.
Except
You may
it
have
moves
to
forward.
leave. You may have
And
to
I'll
leave.
have to leave sometime.
If he has to leave, it's fine though, because all his stuff is done.
For now.
He
didn't
didn't
For
put a
now.
lot of effort into
He
his
didn't.
soundtracks. He
I,
got
I
one.
didn't really. It was the one I put
Actually,
effort
though,
behind that
we
made
do
it.
actually have.
Alright, here.
He will be moving on because we picked Dances with
True.
Wolves. So
That's fine.
I'll just pick one.
Steven, you're
I don't
advocated to take
remember.
care of dances.
Yes, I
In
will.
the untimely event of my leaving.
I will.
I don't
advocate
remember
for
which ones are
Dances
good,
with
so I'm just gonna
Wolves.
pick one. Oh, this is a good
Oh
one.
yeah.
I
This is a
like
good
this.
one.
We just need to have people randomly pick them from now on. Like, I don't know what this is weird. Because we're 2 for 2 on that.
3 for 3, I think.
3 for 3?
We had one last
Western
episode.
metal. This is
I
really
mean, earlier Fletcher couldn't remember what the song was, and I was just like, what was that? So I guess that's, yeah.
I mean, it ended up losing.
But still.
That harmonica is really cool in this.
Yes.
I love the harmonica.
It really
It's
like
super
brings
good.
in
adds
that
a
like.
lot to it. Alright, I think that's probably
Really
good.
makes
My
more
So
one
we already
question
talked a
behind
lot
it. I have
about it
one
last
question behind it.
episode, so I don't really need to do a
Is
ton
that
of
epic?
talking, but
Is that epic? Yes.
I didn't feel the epicness behind it. I mean,
What?
it definitely
How?
was cool, but I
So
didn't think it was
it's
epic.
electric guitars.
So
and-
honestly, it sounded like
It
I can't
sounded like a
imagine-
cool western.
I
but
can't
not
imagine a
epic.
gameplay that fits that song.
No,
I can't
it,
imagine how to play a game.
It fits
with
it,
that
but
song.
like
But
it's. I
It
didn't.
fits
I
the
didn't feel
game.
the epicness
I'm sure it
behind
does,
it.
but I can't imagine it.
It definitely was cool and like okay, this I can see this
What-
being
what
used
category
for
would it
something,
go
but, like,
into?
It would still go in that category.
I think
think
it'd be
that's the
epic.
idea.
I
I
feel
don't
like it'd
see
be
what
its-
other-
it's-
Okay,
I
but
feel like
really,
it's its
against
own
Halo.
category.
It's against Halo 3, so let's just hear what
Yeah,
he
let's
has
hear what
because
Halo
I
3
think he's
has.
probably gonna
Steven's like.
Well, no, I'm sitting there like really trying to think. Okay, I'm like,
already
okay,
did
I
a
need to
bit
pick
from
a
it.
good one. I need to pick a good one. So,
Legend was a good one.
let's go with.
Short though.
Choose wisely. No.
Go on.
The name of a song.
Okay, let's go with one final effort.
Didn't we just listen to this?
Nope.
No.
This is a different one.
Same theme.
This is the Warthog run. This is the Warthog run.
Great.
I can feel. Ben's just like, oh darn it, he's playing the Warthog run as soon as I said it, because it's like that's always like the run.
It is the very similar theme though,
It
than
is.
the last one, and it is really good though. This is really good.
Oh,
I love this. This is
that piano. How did they get? You don't expect a piano to work like that in a game like this.
Yeah, and the violins.
That's
Because-
really
I'm
nice.
sorry, but like every time I
Yeah.
hear the violins,
I
I'm just like,
I love this. This is really
Yeah.
good.
The one thing that I will say is that, again,
can
like you
definitely-
were saying,
I can feel the
Bastion's
epicness.
like,
Yeah.
you get all the songs that are like,
Yeah. It's all honestly both of these games have very unique soundtracks because Bastion, the Western metal is very unique of itself.
Oh.
But
Oh, you
using
turn it
piano
off.
and
Yeah.
violin for a first-person shooter,
Yeah.
that is also
And
very unique.
I felt like that one felt just overall more epic than
And
Bastion.
just the whole soundtrack of Halo 3 and how we were talking about it last
Yeah.
time is, I think that's just it's such a novelty in how it's
I
how
wouldn't
it's
say
laid out.
all of the Halo 3 is
I was
epic.
just about to say.
It's got some
What?
pretty.
No,
Oh,
I mean the parts that we were
low
talking
moments.
about. The parts
It's got
that we were
some
talking
low
about.
moments.
Yeah,
too.
there's some, but I'm talking like there's some moments where you're just like,
Meh. Yeah, basically.
and
Good.
one thing you don't want to forget about Bastion is that really cool.
narrator.
That doesn't
Morgan
really have to do
Freeman
with
is
that. The
first.
narrator is great.
He's
Morgan
in the
Freeman
first
with
song.
the yeah, it is.
I
But
mentioned Morgan Freeman in a song.
okay,
Okay.
in Spurs.
Where is the song?
I love that analogy.
Morgan Freeman is
We
the
want
best.
the
Morgan
Morgan
with the
Freeman.
Spurs.
But that really cool smash up at the end of
Yeah.
this is really, really good. It's hard to do.
It's true.
Well,
So I
So,
mean,
they're
for,
both very
for the
good.
one song, this one definitely. I
I
feel
don't know.
like
I
it,
don't know. I
it
liked,
took
I liked
it,
that
but
one
for
song.
the- but for that one, I mean, I feel like Bastion overall
I like Bastion.
has a little bit more of an epic, even though I said a couple of minutes ago.
I
it
know,
doesn't-
I know.
He did just say
Okay,
that.
I was
It's
saying that
epic.
one song did not sound
Yeah.
epic. The one
And I-
before,
I
the other
kinda-
Bastion
I kinda
song, that
understand.
one sounded nice.
But I want to put Bastion 3, even though I really loved the part of Halo
Bastion
3.
3?
Bastion 3. Make it
I
happen.
love it.
There's not even a
3.
2 yet, but we want number 3.
I liked Halo 3, but
Yeah.
I think I want to put Bastion
I feel like
3.
as a whole, Bastion really had that epicness.
Well, I mean, you even
I
said there's
really
some
like
boring.
that one,
You
too.
said there's some boring parts in Halo 3, and
I did.
that's why.
There is.
And that's I
That's
mean,
why I would
let
do
me
that.
see if I can find one.
Not
There's
exactly
a couple parts
boring,
that are
but
just
like just
okay.
a little slow.
Yeah,
music-wise.
it's because the
Yeah.
the whole the whole soundtrack is really setting the game up for like its tense parts and whatnot.
The next
one
is
Peaceful Game.
Finding Paradise in Minecraft. So
This I feel like this is gonna be the hardest one. Of
This
Yeah.
is gonna be a
here,
tough
can
one
I
for sure.
do
This is
Minecraft?
really good.
Because I think I know which one I want to do. I'll do it. I was last in the
Oh, you
other one,
can't
so
do
I'll this.
Sweden. Oh, darn it.
I know.
I
that's
was just
why
gonna
I-
do the
Oh,
lullaby
that's gonna
one.
be
Sweden
No,
was a
I'm
good
not
one.
gonna do. What is it? It's like. What was that? The lullaby, with the
don't remember.
weird name that shouldn't be. Well,
Did you guys know they just added a didgeridoo to Minecraft?
A diggery-doo?
I'm
Yeah,
not
didgeridoo?
joking.
Didgeridoo?
A didgeridoo, yeah.
I was
really?
about to say I was like, huh?
No, yeah, subwoofer
A
lullaby.
diggery-doo, is that-
Oh, yeah.
I actually don't like that one because
Subwoofer.
subwoofer lullaby.
It
When
ends
it
kinda weird.
when it goes when I start when I hear it when I'm actually playing. when I
Do
When
I
I-
want to know?
when I
No.
hear subwoofer lullaby when I'm actually playing, I don't like hearing it
No,
in
you
the
can
game.
just do OST. It's a lot easier.
I don't care.
That's
I'm
what I
fine.
do. I just
It's fine.
I don't want to spell soundtrack.
Whatever, it's fine. Which is the one I wanted to do.
He's
Honestly,
gonna
you
play
could pick
the
any
Disney
of
theme
them.
with the music boxes, where it's like.
Oxygen.
do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Clark. I was gonna play Clark. It takes a bit. This is also just part of the. This is like the super ethereal part of Minecraft where you're playing it and it.
Those
just comes on.
motorcyclists.
I know, yeah.
You're ruining our ambience.
This is just like the super peaceful. This is when you're just completely in the
This
world.
is when you're running through the forest looking for squirrels.
There aren't
I'm really
squirrels
scared
in
of
But if
Minecraft.
there were squirrels, you would shoot.
This is just like, I mean, you can just like put a montage of just, it's just, you
Calm,
know, you're
relaxing
like,
things
you're
in
breaking,
Minecraft. Yes.
breaking
Yeah, I can
wood,
fall asleep to this.
breaking wood, and you're
Crossing
just like,
the river.
But I
all
can
the
also
things.
fall asleep to Finding Paradise too. I've done that.
Yeah.
I've actually done that.
just the way that all these are laid out. I just love it so much.
It's really good. Yeah. we're talking best of the best soundtracks right
Yes.
now, and it's tough.
For peaceful.
is.
Minecraft's
Yeah.
definitely peaceful.
It
It's
is
very,
that's the
very
idea.
relaxing.
But then it still,
Finding
it still
Paradise-
works when you're in an intense situation in the game. It's
Yeah.
like it's peaceful, but it's still.
But
We
Finding
probably
Paradise
should be
definitely
looking
has
at
that
the
bias.
4 categories also, like the
Yeah.
four
Yeah.
criteria,
Yeah.
because we haven't been doing that. But
And-
this one's going
I
to be
have.
really important for that, I think.
Yes. All right. Good. So, I think this song in particular definitely makes me want to revisit the game. And I think it tells a story, like I said last time. It tells a story without deciding the story. So it tells your story, and that it's saying that your story can be whatever you want your story
Yeah.
to be, and that's literally what the soundtrack is saying. The
Yeah.
whole soundtrack does this, and I think this song especially does that in how ambient it is, and I think it really fits with the overall theme of the game, because the theme of the game is that there isn't a theme.
Yeah.
Literally, the theme is that there's no theme.
The
and
theme
the
is you can do
soundtrack-
whatever you want.
Exactly, and the soundtrack exactly lays that out, because it's
Yeah.
whatever you want. That's how I would see it, and I think it gives the emotion. That's just, I mean, this one is just, it's a peaceful emotion. It's just, you don't have to worry about anything. You're just in your little world, and it's great.
You just
And I
have to
think
make
that's what
sure
I
you
think.
don't open a time hole vortex with that. The theme is that there is no theme
But
theory.
no, I
'cause
think
it's
it
like,
is.
Wait, but then there is a theme.
I-
But then there's not a theme.
Okay, just
Whoa.
simply, I think the theme is that
Paradox.
the theme is whatever you want it to be, and
Right.
that's the point.
Yeah.
They're trying to get across that you don't have to pick a theme, and then the soundtrack just perfectly lays that
It's
out.
like a choose your own adventure where there's like
Exactly.
infinite
but it's
possibilities.
even more. It's a choose your own adventure that you're instead of just being the person doing the choose your own adventure, you're just in it.
Yeah.
And you don't have to go even make those choices. You can just do whatever you want. I love it. It's part of just why I love the game. And
Ben's winding up.
I just
I'm
really
trying to
love the
decide.
game. I just really love the game, and I think the soundtrack just makes the game so much better. So
I'm trying to decide, do I want to do Time as a Place or
Ooh.
the scale theme?
Time is a place.
Okay.
Time is a place.
Alright. Great title.
Oh, I can already tell this one's gonna be a painful
Oh,
boy.
man. It's just too good.
We cry every time, dude.
Like if you cry every time.
Yeah. Smash that like button if you like it.
When the music hits just right.
Yeah.
Something that's kind of cool about the soundtrack is it focus is really hard on the main instruments in the story, because the 3 main characters play instruments.
I didn't think about that.
So
really,
the main character plays the cello, and it's hit
You can hear
super
that.
hard in this soundtrack. Then you got the scale themes, which you got piano and
Wait.
guitar,
Just wait. Just let it.
and then every now and then
Wait.
you get a mix
Wait.
of both when
Just-
he's deciding.
That's
So
really
good.
Steven's gonna go back so he can listen to it again. Steven's just like,
Just all the feels. Every time. It's so good.
And you get some guitar in there. Notice how it's like kind of that mix of guitar and piano. Like the piano will hit hard, and then the guitar.
Thank you, Ken Gale.
It's so good.
that is something I will say about this, and also To the Moon, is the music is amazing no matter if you know the game or not.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't completely get all the feels from it, but the music is still really, really good. I'm digging myself a hole by saying that, but I really,
Yeah,
really
you really are.
I
It's
really
like you're
love
going
Somebody
against
take
I
the
do-
shovel away from Sam.
I really actually love the music from these, and just even if it wasn't a soundtrack, I just love the music.
If you
Yeah.
learned anything, play these games.
I know.
They
Yes.
will make you emotional because
Seriously.
they're so good.
Even if you're not a gamer like we are, it's one of
Yeah.
those things where just think of it instead of like a video game. Think of it like
It's
an
movie.
interactive
It's
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like a book that you
what
you
makes-
get to walk through.
It's what makes
just
games
really
so good is because
Yes.
you,
Yeah.
you feel it even more so than a movie.
Yes.
It's just harder to feel it because you're the one moving it, and it's
Yeah.
not real time.
Just
So
to
if it's
reiterate,
really good, then you're gonna feel it even more than a really good movie.
Yeah.
So
just to
I know which
reiterate-
one I would pick,
Yeah.
but I
Or
leave
or
it
you
to
could wait
two.
till the movie to come out for the games. I mean, it's
Cannot
gonna
No,
happen.
you gotta play the
recommend
game
these enough.
Yeah.
Cannot
Yeah.
do it. Cannot do it.
It's not.
And
it's not
definitely,
the same.
definitely, I mean, play the games, listen to the soundtracks, come up with your own ideas for what you think, because we're not, just because this is what we think doesn't mean it's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So definitely come up with your own ideas of how
Except
you
for
experience the
moon, you can't do
soundtracks.
that. Alright.
So
So
I
me
mean,
and
I think Minecraft,
Steven, I think
the
it's
Minecraft
gonna
soundtrack, it's part of the game, and I think Finding Paradise is more like it can be its own thing, but in the
Yeah.
game it's also amazing. I'm sure this is how I see it from you guys.
It's really what makes Finding Paradise so good.
Yeah.
Because it literally is just text boxes
Yeah.
with pixel art, which
Yeah.
means it's not like a high graphic game.
right.
It's really the music
It's the
behind
music
it
and the feeling.
feelings, yeah.
And the music
It's the
conveys
feelings
the feeling
of, you
perfectly.
feel the feelings that the people feel.
I do
Got it.
find it interesting that we ended up with two games that are kind of they are looking at that same vibe.
Yeah,
Minecraft
they're very
is very
similar.
much the simplistic. You know,
Yeah.
it's not a graphically impressive game. It's
Yeah,
more
and that's
the
part of the
feeling
beauty of it.
Oh,
Oh,
the board!
there
Not
goes
the
the
board!
The wind picked up. All right, we're good.
Okay.
Yes.
So I think, yeah. With that
I
in
don't
mind, it's
know.
really hard because
They're very similar.
for me, just
honestly.
straight up, I liked the first Minecraft song better.
Yeah.
That one
That's
gave
why
me
I picked
more
it.
feels.
That's why I picked it, and
Um,
that's it,
but-
I liked it better too.
But
I
in
can't-
total, I've heard.
I mean,
those-
what is Minecraft's
I've heard all those
soundtrack?
Minecraft songs that like almost
you said
everything
it's
is
a-
just
very
like that.
peaceful.
It's very
Yeah.
peaceful. It's serene. It's like
Yeah.
oh, this is nice. I could stay here forever.
I think you said it had like 150 songs.
Yeah, it does.
I think that was actually 2 albums, so I think it
Okay.
has.
I don't know.
I think it has around 50.
No,
But
Finding
some
Paradise
of them are
probably
10
has
seconds
about-
long, you know.
35 probably.
Yeah.
And some
I
of them
mean,
are just like
soundtrack for
10
soundtrack,
seconds
they're
long.
about the same length, I think.
I
Maybe.
just-
I think it's like an hour and a half long.
I want to give respect to Minecraft for being the game it is.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
as far as soundtracks go, I can't not pick Finding Paradise.
Yep.
I can't
And
do
I
it.
and I think
But
that's
my
fine
vote's
because
with Minecraft though, because you gotta kind of know the story. I feel like behind To the Moon for it to really take that.
That's
hit.
true.
Yeah,
but
sorry,
you've also
Finding
got
Paradise.
you've also got the fact that
It tells the
Minecraft would
story.
stand alone even if it didn't have its soundtrack.
which is very
Yeah.
true. Yes, it's not
because it's
necessary
a-
to the game, but it adds. I think it adds, but it isn't necessary.
Yeah. Whereas
That's
Finding Paradise, I feel like it might be okay without the soundtrack, but the soundtrack is like, I would say it's easily 60% of the game's feels.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
Like without the soundtrack, it's
Easily.
just
it would be.
Yeah.
It's
I would go more like 70-80%. Like it's
Okay.
because it's text boxes. Like
right.
it's the same thing as like reading a book, which you feel it
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
But you're gonna feel it much more if you had music with a book.
Yes.
Like,
yeah, I know. I was actually
Make
thinking
music,
that.
interactive
I was
music
thinking
with
that
the
earlier.
book.
Can you
It's
make
too good.
soundtracks and books? Somebody, please.
Yes.
I need this.
Well, it's called audiobooks. It's called
Oh
audiobooks.
my word.
Audible.
Guys, not a sponsor.
Our
Guys,
sponsor.
not a sponsor. It literally
The
exists.
common-
That's amazing.
Okay.
All right.
Now I gotta go.
We go and
read me
find
some
Paradise.
audiobooks.
You don't read audiobooks; they read
You- I-
themselves to you.
Dun, dun.
All right. So
Alright,
what are we
So
doing
I
next?
want to give it
No, we
Finding Paradise?
haven't
for your reason of that.
I guess
that,
we're going
that
to Finding Paradise.
It is the game. The soundtrack is the game.
Yeah.
It's the feels in the game. I want to give it to
Because
that.
I feel like Sam's already given up on his Minecraft.
No,
No,
right.
I haven't given up.
You didn't
He
give
did
up,
a-
but
he
like
it's
did a
different.
better defense for Minecraft than you gave
for anything.
Come on, man. Get with it.
I
You
think
were doing better this
I
time.
think that
though.
deserves
I will
it,
say
though.
that.
All right. So we've got 4 things left.
Okay.
Do you want to finish it off or go another video?
I say because I
I
think
don't-
Fletcher has to leave
Let's
soon.
see
so
what's the peaceful game that made it.
Peaceful game was Finding
That's gonna
Finding
beat.
Paradise.
I
And
think
that's
that's gonna
going-
beat Dances with Wolves.
Well,
No, we're gonna do games against games and movies
Yeah,
against
games
movies,
against
right?
movies.
And then have a movie
the
and
best
game.
best movie and best game soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that's what we'll do.
Yeah.
I feel like we should probably call this a an episode.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
This
So
one took.
And then the
45
next one
minutes.
can be just like the final battle. Like
Final battle.
these
The
four-
final showdown. Fight.
all right.
We'll play
All right.
Portals.
Thanks for
Right.
watching. Please
Subscribe.
like and subscribe because it makes me feel better.
It
doesn't
makes you
feel
feel
like a
better
waste.
about yourself.
And
Yeah.
leave a comment if it's substantial about something. Don't just do
And also,
Yeah.
feel
stupid.
free to comment
Thank
your favorite
you.
soundtracks.
Yeah.
Likes are appreciated, but we want to hear from you. We
Yeah.
want
Yeah.
to hear what your opinions are. We want to hear what you think. You guys probably have just a slew of really good soundtracks that we may not have heard before, just like you may not have heard ours.
Absolutely.
So tell us what you think. Tell us what you know.
And-
Let's hear it.
Play these games, watch these movies, and listen to these soundtracks
Yeah,
because they're
seriously.
masterpieces.
They're good
Even if you don't
soundtracks.
go watch these movies or play the games, just please give the soundtracks a try. We can almost guarantee that you'll like a few of them.
Yes.
Almost guarantee.
Almost
Alright.
guarantee.
Thanks for
Almost.
watching.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for watching.
See ya.
You